So guys, now that we put down our class names, now we can start using our function. Since I want AI to be here from start, I'll be using in each custom file that you already know because is on the past videos. So we'll be using now the defend function from the init file, but don't worry, we'll be using more functions uh, from the triggers. Okay, so let's put down some markers. You should be using empty markers so it will be invisible, because if I just put this marker here, it will appear on the map and will not make any sense. But for the sake of this video and because it's a tutorial, I'll use this normal marker. Remember, use empty markers for this. Okay, so I'll put here a small marker. I will call this is the variable name. You can call whatever you want, but I'll call def1, which means defense 1. And I'll just copy paste this and I'll put in this space here. Okay, so here I want more AI because let's say this is a harder base to attack. So I'll put two markers. I want a group spawning here and a group spawning here. Or I can do I can just put a big marker here, and don't worry, because the size of the marker doesn't matter, because we're going to specify the size of the area on the function. I'm using two here because, okay, just for the sake of it, but you can just use a big one, and just let's say you can use those markers to count the distance too. So I can put just a big one here and spawn two squads, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use two so you can understand. Let's say if this was a bigger base, I would do it that way because I think it's better. So let's call this def2. Okay, and let's call this def3. Perfect. Okay, so now we have our markers down with variable names. Now we can start using our init custom, so we'll be fine. So let's go to our init custom file now. So let's go to our niche custom that I already showed to you. Okay, so let's delete this service thing because we won't be using that. Open up my text file that you have on the Mission Maker pack. Here you have my codes that I just took from the template, so it make it easier for me to pick it up and don't be looking. You can see here that spawn defend init. This is for in each custom file, and here is the spawn defend trigger. This is for trigger. They are a little bit different, maybe because of some the guy who made the template have a good reason for that. I don't know. I'm not a TI guy, but yeah, you have here. Just pay attention to that. So let's spawn defend here. Let's copy paste this. Okay, perfect. So we want to put the first marker we know is def1. So it's a small camp. So I'll put 20 here. This number, so this is the marker. You want to put the marker, the name of the variable that you put in the marker. This is the radius that the area which they will spawn. So I put a small number because it's just one squad, and you understand this. This is one squad, but if you're spawning several squads with vehicles, do not use this small number. Put 100, 200, so they have space, because if you put a lot of AI together with just this small radius of the marker, it will cause problems. They will spawn all together. It will be a mess. So let's go to those first number here. So this first number here is the pool on select unit file. So remember that 0 was the examples and 1 was where we put our soldiers that we want from Syria. So this is 1. The second number represents the side of the force that we want to spawn. So 0 is west, which is blue 4. 1 is east, which is up 4. 2 is independent, which is independent, of course. And 3 is civilian. So put down here 1 because I want to spawn up 4. So now we have this three numbers between those brackets, what that means. So if you look into the guide, there is a detailed tutorial on that, but I'll just say to you this very fast. So this first number is this first bracket is where you put the number of AI in each squad. Okay, so this first number represents the number of AI in a static squad. This second number represents the number of AI in a patrolling squad, and this third number represents the number of AI in a defense squad. Okay, we'll be getting to that later. But let's say I want static, and you understand why. I want 10 men in a static squad. I won't be using those two, so I put 0. Don't forget that. Always put 0 if you're not going to use. And I just want one squad. Okay. This second bracket applies the same thing here, but here is the number of squads. So I put 10 men per squad on static, and I just want one squad. We will spawn 10 AI. Simple, right? So here, those four numbers represent vehicles. So this first vehicle is light vehicles, which you have on select unit loadout. You can see there is light vehicles, medium vehicles, heavy vehicles, and air vehicles. Okay, so this is for air, this is for ground. Okay, but this is heavy, this is medium, and this is light. So I only put light. I put a UAZ with a Dishka on top of it, but I won't be spawning any vehicles inside my first outpost, which is on the mountain, so it doesn't make sense for me to spawn a UAZ there. So boom, there it is, our first spawn. But remember that we have 3 markers, so I have to do that for 3 markers. So here is def 2. I'll just keep the same thing because I won't spawn in vehicles here. I'll spawn vehicles later with another function, and copy paste def 3 here. Okay, perfect. Now the server will spawn all those squads in 3 different markers. Remember, we had 66 AI left to spawn based on my number, which is 70, and now we're going to spawn 30, so we have 36 more to spawn. Okay, without compromising server performance. Just save that. Let's go back to Arma. So guys, to test the mission, you just put down Game Master, which is Zeus. You put owner, you put admin logged, and all official and those including non-official ones. Hit OK. Put down a playable unit. That's how you're going to test all your missions always. Okay, always you're going to test your missions like this. You have to test it on Zeus. It's faster, it's better. Trust me. Let's make it playable and hit a play scenario. Now you see that they will stand still. So what the static squad on the function does, he just stands still, and when get to contact, he will react to that. He will just try to rush you, and that's okay. Let's test this. We can easily test this. For example, let's put down a blue 4 squad here. Let's pick this guy and put here. So they'll get into contact. So if I drag down them here, you can see that, oh, a lot of them died already. Yeah, these UK guys are OP. So they will first get into defensive positions. They will try to get cover. They will lay down, and after that they will just rush the enemy. Oh my god! And they will take cover. They will try to get the enemy. Okay, let's see if the spawn worked here. Yeah, so the guys are walking. They are sitting down. Worked here too. So as I said to you, if you want them to spawn inside this base, you would have to put the radius a smaller number. So because I put 20 here, the marker interpreted that they could spawn here as well. So if I put a small radius on the trigger, on the function, they could easily be spawning inside the base, but this is so to understand. I will fix that for the next lesson. So that's it, guys. We managed to spawn our static units. So now they will garrison those two, this outpost and that oil base. And that's it, guys. See you on the next video.